For this series, hopefully those frames will drop or spike back up kind of soon. I'm using a mod called Tectonic for this series to see if I like it. If I don't like it, you won't ever see this video anyway, so it doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't really matter. But the series, last series I was taking my time and just kind of building, and it was going to be like a catch-up series of, hey, this is what I've been building, this is what I've been learning, this is what I added and got rid of and whatever. And it was going well until eventually it kind of just turned into a solo world, and I wasn't really showing much, I was just kind of enjoying playing by myself, and I got out of I guess I don't need an axe, I need a pickaxe. I got out of the content creation mode fairly quick by playing like that. And then past couple of months, I've been trying to make hardcore videos. I either died during the process, or I finished the video, build everything, was going to edit, and then I realized I had zero game audio. So there's that. That's awesome and fun. And it just got to the point where I was like, dude, I just need to make a video. I don't think it matters, because I was so adamant on making hardcore. So I just made a regular world again. And I was like, oh, I might as well spruce it up with Tectonic or something. I was going to do Lithosphere, but they haven't updated yet. I like that one a lot more, I think, but we'll see how this is. And I guess it was just the world telling me, hey, you're not a hardcore player, bro. Like, you just have bad luck. You either die or you have game problems, tech problems that you have to figure out and post, and I'm not trying to do all that. But here we are, I told my friend at this point I might as well just make a new series each video I post, because that takes so long. But I just started school. I actually have class in like an hour and a half, so I can't play for too long, can't record for too long. But before that, I was kind of just playing other games, I was having fun playing other games and doing my thing. But we're back, we're on another series, another world. I don't People love, I know it's pretty popular to love the early game. I actually hate the early game, which is very contrary, because I definitely start over a lot. I hate the early game though. Like, I can't stand it. But one thing about me, if I don't like the way something is going, my friend makes fun of me for this a lot. If I don't like the way something is going, I just give up. I don't care. Like, I'll start over immediately. I just don't care at all, you know? And I think that's a pretty good way to live life, like, obviously not important stuff, but I had a video recorded and then I didn't like the product, and I'm not going to give y'all something I don't like, because I have a feeling y'all wouldn't like it. So we make some torches already, that's nice. So here we are. It's okay though, it's no problem. And I've been trying to study certain styles for this, especially for the starter area. I don't really know how big the starter area will be once we're done. I was kind of hoping for a whole town of this style. It's dystopian, but it has a little bit of fantasy sauce to it, it has a little flair going about it. And it's pretty hard, it's very different for me. You have to scale up and push walls back so much to get the window details that people do with the debug stick. The debug stick magic. I mean, you don't even need a debug stick if you have Axiom now. You can just turn on Tinkerer and you can right click with your hand and it does the same stuff with the debug stick. So that doesn't really matter anymore. But in order to do that with survival builds, you have to push the wall back so much just to have multiple layers so you can put those details in those windows and stuff. So I've been playing around with that. And today we're building just a square. It's a cube. It's not anything crazy. It's just kind of to dip our toes in this style a little bit and set the foundations for it. Ooh. I mean, I don't really need that, huh? But we can keep it for now, I guess. We can wear these for now. But hopefully, oh, hold on, my oven's beeping. Hopefully I like this mod though. It seems pretty normal right now, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the landscape doesn't really seem like it's doing too much. But maybe, I think it's just mostly mountains. And that's what I liked about Lithosphere. You remember that from, I had a series, my first series, and then I was gonna change it up, I was gonna make a little one-off series using Lithosphere. I think it was hardcore as well, and I died. I should have used that. as my hardcore experience to not try to go for it this time. But I used it and then I forgot I had it when I died, and I went to my other world and I just watched my chunks just delete in front of my eyes, and it like overwrote past saves. It did all types of stuff, so I had to like make a new series. But the reason I like that mod more is because it's focuses on blending out biomes and making them a little bit bigger and more smooth, and the hills be more smooth. So the plains biome, like the desert and stuff, just looked massive and rolling. Oh, kind of like how this does. That kind of looks nice. I would like some sheep. I keep finding, I feel like you find more sheep in the plains than you do these, but whatever. It's been so long though. The last video I did was a two episode series at this point. Um, so I haven't really played around with the past few updates. I think there's been three bigger ones since then. So I haven't really done anything with that. So we can play around with those stuff this series. I mean, unless I just keep making new ones, you never know. At least I'll be unique, you know? Nobody else is doing that. I don't know, I kind of just play this game how I want. And if that means making a new world, I really don't mind. That's why I wanted to play hardcore, because I feel like if I died, I really wouldn't care, you know? But we can keep going on this one and see how it is. It just takes a little bit now, especially now that I have school and everything, and I'm always in my textbooks. And then my girlfriend is starting to work out with me, so I like swap that. I used to work out in the morning before school, and then I would study and like do my chapters in the evening. And then now I'm gonna have to like swap that. But I did quite a few chapters last night, so I could record this morning at least a little bit. You know, time's a ticking though. It goes by really fast when you record. It seems like I already have to go to school, and I still have like an hour before I have to leave. So we'll see. We'll just do one more, and then we can keep on running. I want to find the place I want to set up pretty quick, so I don't have to worry about much whenever I record next. You know, there's sheep over there as well, so we can go ahead and make a bed as well. That'd be nice. I mean, honestly, this is a pretty cool little spot. And it's spawn. I've never really made world spawn, my place, because it's usually bad. But this is pretty cool, you know, you get like these little rolling hills and stuff. Not that spawn has to be like decorated with buildings and stuff, because I mean, it's not like anybody will ever see it. But all those little baby ones over there. I saw that bedrock. The babies look different now. They're like all one size and not bobbleheads. It kind of looks a little odd, but at the same time, it's kind of cute. It never really made sense that their head was so big, because, I mean, the regular mobs' heads are normal size compared to the body, so I don't want to kill too many animals, because if I pick this spot, I don't want to have to run too far to make a farm, you know? Maybe we can just make a farm off rip, so we don't have to worry about it as much. And I do need some food stocked up. But once we get set up, we can I like to just jump into mining early game, just to get the resources. And I was doing that in hardcore because if I died mining that early, then I wasn't losing too much, you know. It was just a couple of hours I was losing compared to like all of my builds and stuff. So I'm just going to carry that along too, because you can find some early game diamonds as well, just going ahead and knocking out the mining. So once I kind of get this little setup going, and get some wood for some chests, we can just jump down there. Why not? And I'm thinking we can just put everything right here, because we build right here. We're like right next to it, so that'd be nice. Just leave a little torch action. First time I'm gonna be able to use that respawn point in a couple of months. Just kind of throw them down for now. And then I'm not even gonna organize really. I'm just gonna kind of throw stuff in. And then we'll just keep the things we do need to keep, like the wood, and keep some sticks on us. We can go ahead and make sticks out of these, just to kind of stock up a little bit more. Obviously the coal, we can keep the copper on us, and then we can cook our food. We're going to free cam just for a little bit. I'm gonna try to not use free cam as much. This is what we're working with, you know? Even if we choose right here to place our starter stuff, we can kind of eventually move off. Or we can move off, start in the middle, and then come down here for something else. Don't know the plan quite yet, since we're just spawning in. That's like after we find everything, you know, we gotta go find saplings and stuff so we know where everything's at. But first off is definitely mining, getting that out of the way, at least to get some iron tools. I've been using copper quite a bit too. Copper is actually pretty good for tools. For hardcore, you might as well just get iron armor. The copper wasn't really working that well. Iron barely does, so. But for regular survival, I probably could get away with copper armor for a little bit at least. Just depends on how much iron we get and everything. Alright, everything's dying. I couldn't sleep. What is he doing? I couldn't sleep because I had to fight off so many animals. I had to fight off so many mobs. I was like right below. I think I came up. Like right behind these trees somewhere. We have plenty of stuff to work with now. We've actually found a little slime chunk, which is pretty rare for me to find in a cave. I feel like I never have that luck. All right. I do have 5 diamonds. We're just gonna save those. We don't really need them right now. And then we are gonna make some torches though because we're running pretty low. We can just throw a farm down like right here. We can go ahead and smelt up some more. We have 2 stacks. I was gonna get more, but I was running out of space and I really didn't care to stay too long because I don't really care about mining. A lot of people do. A lot of people love mining, but like, I don't know. I feel like it's boring. And then I did say we can get away with copper for a bit, but might as well at least get a chest plate or something. I mean, we have enough to kind of make a full set and the tools be sparingly, you know? Yeah, why not? Why not? And they're gonna use the copper and the iron for tools and everything. But while that smelts up, I need water, and I think the closest source is over this hill. And I'm not gonna mine any of this coal or if there's surface iron up here or this copper until I have fortune. Because you know how much stuff you'd get from all of this if we had fortune 3? So anytime I need coal or anything, I'm just gonna go mine for it. Yeah, this is the closest water to us. And of course it's all jagged and spiky because of this mod. Let's go ahead and bone meal a little bit of this just to get some stocked up. I did find a skeleton. No, not skeleton. What are they? Spider? Yeah, I did find a spider spawner when I was down there. There we go. This is just right click to harvest. Makes things a little bit easier. If y'all want to go check it out. Yeah, we got 10. Alright. And, it's not too far away from us. I screenshotted the coordinates for the future, you know, so we can make a spider farm. I would use it for XP for the time being, of course, but mostly just for the string. I always need string, I feel like. Just for scaffold and then dispensers, stuff like that. You know, you can make bows and all that. We got a little bit until then. You know, I'm not building a spawner anytime soon. That takes a minute, and I just don't. I was like, what is that? But that's where I dug down. I just don't want to have to deal with that. But that's why I have all this golden horse armor. Like, I just have. Oh, this is a new one as well. Oh, you don't need slime balls for leads anymore. I forgot they changed that. Huh, okay. Well, we can get a horse if we want, you know. We don't have a saddle. Oh, you can make saddles now. Dang, they're just making the game easier, huh? All these people complaining. Yep, you sure can. All these people complaining. We finally got it. And I already forgot. Alright, yeah, we can see what this copper armor looks like. I mean, he's pretty good. Yeah, we're just keeping for now. Jeez, why is there so many? I feel like I interrupted something up here. No, I do not want to read y'all's handbook. Oh, is this jump awful? Is it even 2? Okay. Is it 3? It's not. Oh, this horse. Yeah, this horse kind of sucks. Okay, we can worry about that later. So do these like, do they oxidize? Probably, I would assume not, since this is blue. It probably just looks like that, huh? Or do you? Oh no, I try to, I try to like wax them. It probably just looks like that. I mean, it's kind of cool, I guess. Waiting for this to smelt up. Let's go ahead and make another pickaxe because I forgot how low we are, and then we can just knock out the rest of our tools. Why not? Now, the first step is I do want to kind of flatten this place out, see what we're working with for today. Cover this up, get rid of this grass, maybe knock down this hill right here, maybe push back this hill a little bit more. Oh, I'm gonna try not to free cam too long, but yeah, maybe knock this out a little bit, knock this out, make a little circle with this, just so it's like an even little slope up to the elevated part. We can keep this. We can keep that little hill right there. Maybe we can add something in there. But yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do, just to get that out of the way. Now that we have some tools, I'll probably use quite a few iron ones. But if I do need to keep going, I'll just use the copper just to save the iron, because in this style, I need some iron for the function blocks that I use as details. But in the future, I'm going to need a lot of iron, because the bigger and bigger we get, the more details that you need. And most of those details require iron, because it's usually like redstone blocks or functional blocks to make engines or whatever it is. Definitely want to knock this out. We got a cute little spot. I dig it. I've brought back this over here, and I still need to fill in this, and then we go on over here. I kind of like made a little trail through here just to kind of show off where I need to terraform. So all of this side will be gone and flat. Then of course we'll have to go back in and dig this up. But we're now doing the same thing over here, just trying to map out where I want to be terraformed and more flat and everything. So this side over here will be gone, at least one layer. Then we can kind of touch up the sides here just to make it more smooth and everything. We have a few cows going. I found 2 cows over here, so I figured I'd start that. But other than just digging and digging, we haven't really been doing much. So, I mean, we obviously have iron tools, so it's going to take a little bit. But so far, I mean, it's not terrible. It's just, this is probably going to be a pain to bring this down a few layers, and it's pretty big. That's going to be a pain. Go take care of these guys really quick before we jump back into terraforming. What are y'all up to? Only keep the 4s and 5s. 4s and 5s out here. But I don't think I've showed it off from like this angle. I mean, there's obviously nothing really going on yet, because I have to like fill in this with grass and everything. But we got a good little spot, you know, and it just keeps on rolling and rolling. We can just keep working on it over time, you know. Just now finished placing all this dirt over here to kind of even this up a bit, just smooth it out. Filled up this spot, broke a few more pieces, went through a few more shovels, of course. This little hill is still here. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna have to knock this out for now. You know, we can just save this until maybe we can at least have a little bit of efficiency on there, because yeah, it's pretty monotonous just breaking it with iron and copper shovels, you know. But I think this is a good enough space for us to kind of work with. Now I think we can just place down our build right here. It's just a cube, like I said. It's just 4 walls. That's about it, you know. And then we can have this like be the little outcast building when that we can live out of as we keep expanding, you know, in the style, get bigger and bigger builds out here. Now I have been trying to mate these guys up a little bit when I can. Anytime there's a couple more that have grown, I usually know it's time to come over here and mate. So it's a good little system going. We're kind of filling up on everything. But now that everything is pretty smooth and rolling, we can try to go find some more biomes. You know, we need more saplings. We need to know where biomes are. And kind of get rid of this little patch of trees here. Anywhere there's a patch, I try to get rid of. So it's like a smooth little tree line. Honestly, I could probably even get rid of this one. Is this connected to anything? Yeah, it is. Yeah, we can go explore a bit, you know? Find where the nearest village is. Get some hay bales and maybe even set up some trades. I like to do silk touch pretty early on. You know, just have a little Fletcher you can trade sticks with. Because I hate smelting stone. Like, I just can't stand it. I don't think I use any stone in this, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm tired of terraforming with early game tools, you know. But it looks nice, so we can go out and explore a bit and see what's out there, see what's going on. Now, at this point, I only need mangrove. Mangrove was one of the ones I was forgetting. And then I forgot jungle, but I found jungle, obviously, because of this bamboo up there. But yeah, I was I was forgetting so many of them. Oh, okay. Y'all just don't want to mate. Cool. We have this little thing going on up here because I need white wool. I don't know if I like it. And the copper is going to be oxidized, but I don't feel like waiting on it. So I'm just going to let it oxidize up here. Just made it them, huh? Yep. I don't know if I like this. It's kind of just, for now, I was kind of just playing around with how farms would look kind of in this town or in this style. I think it's all right. You know, we could always go in with copper bars and change up a few of these so it's not all iron, you know. But I think it works for the time being. Anywhere they could jump up, that's where the slabs are. So they are kind of random, but they're kind of not, you know. It's just so they can't get out. There's like no decoration around or on the inside or anything. It's just kind of there. And then these poor guys are still just locked up in a fence. But we're getting organized. We're getting organized. Yeah, there's wood. There's gonna be like stone bits. You know, I was at Walmart the other day looking for. Me and my girlfriend just needed some amenities. You know, I needed body wash and stuff, and more shampoo, and she needed a body wash. I found my shampoo within like a few seconds because at Walmart the men's section for shampoo and like body wash is like 2 feet long. You know. Because you only get a few choices, right? You get cinder block ash volcano or musty street asphalt. I didn't choose that one, but I was looking through. What am I doing? I should probably plant more wheat, honestly, or I should probably start planting. Yeah, let's get the sugar cane grown up. I'm not growing any right now. I only have 8. Didn't have more? I guess not. I was looking for hers. She gets this specific one, and it's by Dove, you know. So I was going to the Dove section. I was walking all the way around, trying to figure out why I couldn't find it. I kept looking at the same one that she uses. I was like, dude, I swear this is it. Okay. I was like, dude, I swear this is it. But it kept saying lotion on it. And I was like, dude, they only have lotion? Isn't that kind of wild? But no, it was under the lotion. It's a lotion like skin. But under it was the smallest font you ever seen in your life. And it said body wash. So I walked around for 30 minutes looking at the same bottle of the bottle I need. Just because I thought I was saying lotion. But it said lotion like skin in the biggest font ever. And then literally said body wash underneath. So I don't know. I don't know. This kind of blends into the stone back there. So I don't really know. This might come up, to be honest. This might get flattened or something. I just built it just to see, because in the future we're gonna need obviously farms and stuff. Just trying that out. I don't know. Y'all have any ideas of what a farm would look like? Once I build the house, you kind of get the style. It's kind of dystopian, kind of not. So we'll see. But I just needed some sheep to be bred up because I need a little bit of wool. And speaking of, let's go ahead and just carry around some shears, Because if we're out in the wild and I see some sheep, I'll just go ahead and get those. Eventually, it'd be cool to have like a design a fence that kind of goes around, or like a wall. That will require a lot of iron though, because there'll probably be a lot of iron bars and everything. That's all the way in the future and stuff. We don't really have to worry about that right now. The building's going over here is kind of tucked into the corner. It was going to be over here, but I'm thinking taller buildings right here for the main road to kind of keep going. It'll look better. We can start with the smaller builds over here. This one kind of just gets the vibe of it. Gets the vibe of the place going, you know. Now the bad thing is we have two, okay, is that with this style you have to, if you don't have a debug stick that you get in creative, where is all of my stuff at? That you get in creative. Did I save from, I should probably save some for like a dog or something. In creative, you can do debug stuff. In survival, you have to push walls back in order to get like window details that you would otherwise get with the debug stick, you know. And you don't even need the debug stick anymore if you have Axiom. Axiom, you kind of just, there's a setting called Tinkerer that you can turn on, and the debug stick turns into your right hand, and you can just right click everything. But you have to push the walls back so much. And even though you can't see a single ounce of this strip dark oak, I need like 4 stacks of strip dark oak, or like 5, because of the walls. You know, I had to push the walls back so much that I was just kind of using this for the inside. So I'll kind of show you what I mean. This is, say this is the inner wall. This right here would be, well, like this would be the interior wall. This right here would be like for the details of the window, and then this would be like the actual window. And then if sometimes you can get away with, if you scale up, you can do the interior wall with the window too, and you can put even more details in there. But I think I only did 2 layers, and then the third one is the actual wall on the inside. They're looking for me. They're on the hunt. So it's pretty tricky, you know. This style is really hard, especially the bigger you get. I mean, I guess it's pretty tricky small too, because you're trying to figure out how to make a little cube look good and also not too noisy, because this style turns into cyberpunk very easily if you're not too careful with the details. And that's what I was kind of running into as I design more and more, because I've been trying to build in this style for a while now, just trying to learn it and get used to it for this place and like this series and everything, just so I know kind of what I'm doing, sort of, I guess. There's always stuff I'm gonna need to learn and everything about it, but that's why we're doing it, you know. That's why I'm always constantly testing out new stuff. And there's plenty of inspiration out there for you to look at. But yeah, I need a whole bunch of this just before the walls. Like the inside, well, the outside is like it looks like a 9x9, and the inside is like a 4x4. It's so tiny. Just like I said, I had to push the walls back so much. If y'all aren't using leaf decay, you need to, because you don't ever have to worry about floating leaves. It just kind of gets rid of it. They lay on the ground for a little bit, which is kind of cool. It'd be nice if there's a way to keep that on the ground for texture. That'd be kind of cool. It'd probably be super laggy though, because it's most likely an entity. I don't know if I need vines, but why not, right? You could always use mossy stone with it or something. Bad thing is it's 1-to-1. You know, you don't get. I don't know why they haven't changed that. It's kind of wild. Doing the thing. We're doing it. We're just getting all the random little 1s and 2s that we need, you know. This style requires a lot of 1s and 2s. So, but we got to go down. We got to get some different types of stones and stuff just to kind of stock up. You don't need too much, but might as well get it out of the way. You know, like tough, andesite, things like that. And I feel like this isn't going to take too long to kind of get this sugarcane going, hopefully. I thought I had more than that to begin with. This is just from collecting it from now. I always forget that I use glow lichen. Not ever really in blueprints or anything, like pre-planned builds. But I always use it afterwards to light stuff up or do a little bit of texturing on the build. So always forget to bring shears when I go like mining, or this time I'm not necessarily mining, even though I am getting the stuff I see. I just need tough, but I remembered shears, so I can actually kind of stock up on a little bit of glow lichen. Yeah, do you think it's time to kind of wipe these guys out? They're jittering. That's usually a good sign. Alright, 58 should last us quite a while. We have plenty of leather now, so we can actually start. It's just that sugarcane. Homeboy is still just looking for me. Now, if you know what chunk base is, it's like a website where you can go and type in your seed, and then you can like look at a map and see where different biomes are and things like that. So I used to use that a whole bunch anytime I couldn't find a biome. Well, there's this mod that I can show off in a second that is basically chunk base for your hand. It is right here. So what you do, you just right click and it tells you, gives you a list. So the UI is a lot better too. You don't have to like not only go to a third-party website and tab out of the game and everything, but then you also have to type in your seed and look around the map, try to find your location and pinpoint it. This just tells you where the nearest one of these biomes. Okay, 2000 is more doable. As you can see, it just pops up in the top left, shows you your chords as well. It's nice, don't have to tab out. Start using it. At this point, we're basically only waiting on this copper. And then we can actually jump into the build. I wasn't in this area, so I don't really remember if I can make these guys or not. So, yep, we can. So we should probably go make the sheep as well. Some of these, I don't have the wax for. And it's not like we have like silk touch and everything, so I'm just going to place them on once they're this color, and then we can go back. Once we have honeycomb, we can go back and wax them when we need. Now I made a diamond pickaxe because I do need to go to the nether, like I said. So we're just going to run around. We have our water bucket. Almost forgot it. Just going to run around and try to find... Oh, okay, well there's a portal. Okay, how many is this going to... Oh, I guess I can use crying obsidian too. So I might not... What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I need 10. Are you kidding? There's no lava around it? There ain't nothing in here either. Oh yeah, thanks for the mending golden shovel. Really needed that. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. Almost died 4 times on the hardcore world I was trying to record before this in the nether, but this is regular survival. Should be totally fine, no? Okay. It wasn't that bad, to be honest. The ghast almost did me dirty. I was trying to record me returning it back to Cinder, but that was not working, you know. I just had to run. We did get the bone blocks and everything, and then we can honestly start working towards that. Why not? You know, let's I got leads. I have fences. No, that's not how you do it. There we go. God, you had to put it like right in the middle of it. There we go. Yeah, we got plenty left over. We can throw this in there. Alright, still waiting on this guy. I don't really know. Honestly, didn't take too long. I always think it takes way longer than... Same thing with stripping wood in your right hand. Or your left hand. Oh, he finally made his way down. Oh! He finally sees me. Yeah, how you doing? I think I'm trapped. Oh, nice. Since we're not really going to wait, a lot of this is already oxidized, so that's nice. But since we're not going to wait for these guys to oxidize fully, we're good to go to build. Like I said, it's going tucked in into this little corner. And yeah, it's a it's a cube. We can touch down on how we want this to go. Why is there granite right there? How we want this to go for the whole town, and I have so many builds planned. Not exactly where, of course, but just as I've been building in my creative world and trying to build and learn new things about this style, I've accumulated quite a few, and they all look pretty good. But this one's small, it's quaint. We can just live in it for a little bit, you know? Make it home. Little guy's with us now. Little guy's here. He's here. How you doing? Are you just adorable? I don't have anything for you though. Kept this lead. Oh, his little gills are kind of gross looking. It's like the deep. Don't complain. There you go. Now you're just gonna stay right there. Luckily, the first time I've ever spawned one of these guys, they just flew off. I didn't know they grew up and they just flew off. And they can fly off a decent amount, and I just couldn't find them. I turned my back and he was here. So like I said, it's just a cube, but it's a cute cube. What do you think? Now, straight off the rip, you can kind of see that we have different things going on. So this trapdoor line is actually just in front of it. And then this is what I was talking about, where you make different layers and push the wall back. A little cramped on the inside because of it, but that's why you just keep scaling up, you know. So any building you make, scale it up by like 3. A lot more resources, of course, but... And then we just have a little bit of color going on in there to make the lights turn on. Some framing with this iron, and then another one of these little thinner window panes with the oak fence, since it doesn't connect to either one. There's so many different things you can do with this. I've tried out shelves back there as those cool little ribs, and then since we're doing stuff like this, keep the rest of it simple, you know. A couple of levers holding up the awning, just stairs and slabs for above the window, because we're doing stuff like this where we can have little machines going on. You know, this taller chimney that's going up, connected with all of these pipes going down into, this is probably what's powering the chimney. This kind of looks like it's blending into the wall, like it's growing out a little bit. That was by accident, but it sort of looks cool. And then back here, we have this little garage door that's kind of been taken over by the land eventually, you know. And the same thing with here, but it's just barred off in the back now, instead of having the fence. I think that's pretty cool. Same thing with a little bit of color in there. Little machine again. Maybe these are AC units. Those usually are on the windows, but we'll disregard that for now. And since this awning is here, the trapdoors doesn't look too bad sticking out the way they do. Because your eyes are already going to see that, you know. Plus you're going to see that first since it's lighter. It looks cool though. We got this. So always forget that you can stack. The only time I remember is when I'm building. You can stack the scaffold out. So I was like, why not break it up a little bit? Act like this whole thing's a ladder and just break up bits and pieces of the ladder. And you get this, you know? Super smooth. This is how you get up to look at all of these transformers and whatever else may be up here, you know? Your simple grindstone chimney. And then we wanted the frame, right? So we framed it up with this little dead tree. It's kind of thick at the bottom. I was looking at a bonsai tree, which bonsai trees don't. I mean, those are the little ones that you just cut and stuff, right? So, but I kind of wanted a bigger one just to kind of frame it off a little bit. So it's thicker at the bottom, kind of branches up and dies off very thinly. And it kind of just flows and it matches well with the granite. Maybe it matches too well, but I don't know. We can see. As time tells, maybe throw in some tough walls to kind of separate that just a little bit more. Just slightly back here. Maybe even down there. Maybe we can have one right there, maybe. Does that kind of separate it a bit more? Yeah, it does. That looks nice. That looks pretty good. Maybe just bring this one down just in this little crack right here. Just right here. There we go. What would it look like if we didn't have this trapdoor making that big? So it just kind of separates that a little bit. Maybe we have to get rid of the stair as well. Maybe not. But I do like it kind of separates right there a little bit more. But no, it's kind of like a little weird triangle of stairs, and it doesn't look very natural. So that makes it a little bit more Minecrafty, but also at the same time, it's just matches the branches, you know? I dig it. We can keep it like that for now. I don't mind. Are y'all ready to see the abysmal inside? Yeah. It's a 4x4. I said 5x5 earlier, so we're back outside. I kind of just teleported to y'all, but I forgot to tell y'all. This is pretty cool. You get pretty cool little doorways by doing stuff like this too. When you bring the walls back so much, you can have like 2 layers of the same thing. Just separates it. Looks cool. We come on in. You see, we do have a little bit of color going on in the corners, but this is the bottom of loom blocks. So I was like, I kind of want something unique. So this is just a 2x2. And I went into creative world and started placing blocks and just moved them up so I could see the bottom of them. This is loom blocks. So still that, it's pretty cool. But we don't have much room to play around with it, so it's going to be super cramped, but also at the same time be cozy since it is so small. Of course, just going to leave that torch in there for now. But I feel like you definitely can tell what I'm going for this, at least the starter area that we're working on. Over there on the different levels and everything, that's where we can just get bigger and bigger and see where it takes us, because there's so much you can do with this style. First things first though, we definitely need to move it, you know, at least get our chests in there, get some of our workbenches in there, and just see what we're working with, you know, because it's not much. And I guess we could always just make a basement. Basement. Let's not put anything in here besides just some decorations. Maybe some quick chests run in here, whatever we use the most, boom, just grab it. But dig this out, make a staircase that's just 4 wide, which will take a lot longer, of course. But that's okay. And then we can have as much space as we want. That sounds doable. Is he running in? Is it because I just broke it thinking I was picking it up? So I had to place it back down. Did it like freak them out? Looks like he's running. These farmers don't care about anything. Nice. Oh. Oh! Okay. Alright. And then I'm just gonna build out because homeboy is... Well, I guess we can leave. We can leave him in bed. Why not? Yeah, we're just gonna have to build out. He has a job block somewhere. So we're gonna have to go find that and get rid of it. Let's see. Was that guy a blacksmith? Is that what that was? Or an armorer? What is in here? That's not really anything. Did he run in here? Oh, it's probably the stone cutter, isn't it? Where did that farmer go? Oh, he's over there. He don't care about... Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, he knew I started making some emeralds and he started sniffing around. And you don't have anything. Greedy. That's insane. Ooh, feather falling 4. I don't need that though. Looting 2. Ooh, that's almost worth it. Silk touch for 6. Hey, we're definitely locking that in. We have to, right? Ooh, 22 for mending. We don't need mending right now. Chill out. That's pretty cheap, ain't it? And now we just need fortune 3 for... no, we're gonna somehow make... Oh, we're just gonna have to run back, get an axe, make more sticks, so we'll just do the whole process again, because looting 3, it was way too good to pass up, for sure. 19 emeralds. That's a steal. we just sort of kind of locked in. So last night I couldn't really record. And I was like, oh man. Usually when I can't record, I just play on my creative world. I was like, I kind of feel like getting some stuff done. So kind of just put my nose in the books, if you will, and got into it. One being, I got the Fortune 3. It was only for 19. It was pretty cheap. But then I was like, oh, I might as well just go mining right now. We can cut into a time lapse. I found an ancient city as I was going down there, and I was like, you know what? Why not? So we got Swift Sneak 3, and then we found these pants, Unbreaking 3 Mending. So no protection or anything. We still don't have enchants on our armor. Oh, these are our backups. Okay. And then we have Sharpness 4 book from the ancient city. And then we had that looting from the villager, and then just fire aspects one because I found that as well. I was like, I'll just throw it on there. We enchanted this, and this is how I did the basement that I'll show you in a second. Other than that, it's we don't have any other enchantments because combining books are quite expensive, of course. But then when I came back, I wanted to at least move out, or move in because I had all of my stuff out of here. So none of this it's kind of decorated, but kind of not. You're coming down and it kind of just opens up. See, we still have this whole side. This whole side is just random chests and stuff, trying to organize a bit. We have more room for more chests and stuff. And I'm thinking we can have like a super smelter right here. We found these skulls in the ancient city. I thought that would be kind of cool, but I'm thinking like maybe exposed pipes, some leaking pipes, maybe old machines in here, just moss growing on the roof and leaves coming down, just make it very abandoned and overgrown down here. I think that'd be pretty cool. We went with the old wood that's kind of rotting with the brown terracotta, and is this terracotta or concrete? I can't remember. And then soil or sand. But we stocked up on so many candles from there. I was like, oh, we don't have the honeycomb for all of these candles, so I might as well. These are kind of expensive, This is nice. Just stole all of them. Diamond horse armor down there as well. We did find another Swift Sneak 3 book. I haven't done anything with those soak touches yet because I do want to get an efficiency pick before putting those on. Do have the ward armor trim, and then other side, and then we found 4 enchanted golden apples, which was pretty wild. But yeah, we're just organizing. I'm not gonna get all of this done today because this took me a few hours just to do this last night, as I was just catching up on Hermitcraft videos, and then I watched a few episodes of My Hero Academia. But coming out here, we can still move some of this stuff. I might leave it for now.